So this was a pretty big weekend, got a lot done. Last time I think I videoed anything, I had the cabinets roughed in and shimmed and screwed in to the walls and such, floor. This time I have done a few more things. I have got the countertops installed, obviously. I still need to actually stain them, put some poly on, but I wanted to get everything dry fitted in. So yeah, I got the cabinets all sanded down so they're nice and even with one another. The oven fit like a glove. It still needs to get screwed in. Of course, this is a 22-inch Atwood propane things in the back. It took me a bit to kind of figure out the connections to try to convert a 1/2 inch to 3.5 inch flange and all that stuff. I got a couple of things back here before I stain. I'm going to fill those with wood putty on that one and that one. Fill them with wood putty and then sand it down. Got the sink. It's a 10-inch deep sink, so it's a very deep sink. Since we only have space for one sink and one basin sink, we had to make sure that it had plenty of room for us to do dishes and such. Got the doors done for the bathroom, so now it can actually close. Now there's a lot of trim work that needs to be done, obviously. Got the sink installed. Got a toilet in place for the plumbers when they come. And I got my new wraparound done around the back of the tub. There's some pictures I took earlier today that I'll post. But essentially that's going to be covered, as well as this wall, and around here. It's all going to be covered in like a vinyl type covering, so that way it protects it from moisture. And the reason I decided to not go all the way around the tub is just because there's just not a ton of room in here. If I went all the way around the tub with it, I'd have to move this out 1 or 2 inches, and then you end up with less room. Plus I also wanted to make it so I could get the tub out when I need to. I still have to coat the inside of the tub in fiberglass and resin. And the reason I got the corner type toilet is because I wanted to make sure that it felt comfortable sitting here. If I'd gotten a standard toilet that faced this way, you'd be right against this. If I got one that if I faced it that way, you'd have no room to get to there. But whereas this, when you sit down on it, which I already tried, when you sit down on it, you have tons of leg room out here. You have plenty of room to walk to the tub/shower, and it does not obstruct anything with the sink. So it's kind of the best of all worlds. The downside is because it's not a standard type of toilet, it costs a lot. But got it in there, it's ready to go. I also framed out this on the outside edges, same with this right here, that right there, and that right there. And the reason I did that was to add a little bit of stability. It was a bit of flex when you stood on some of those stairs, and I just didn't like that, so I wanted to make sure to kind of strengthen it up with a little bit of framing. Aside from that, I changed out the light to make it a smaller light here. Wanted to have an LED light in here. And when I got the doors put in, you'll see that this one installs nice, this door to the bedroom installed nicely because it's right along the rafter. This one did not. And the reason is because when I was looking at this little guy right here, I put him too close to this side over here, which meant that I had to play with this spacing. So the door actually had to get bumped out about 3.5 inches. So I took a 4x4, cut it down to the appropriate length. And that was the other thing I had to do, is I had to actually kind of lower the doors a bit because these doors were not long enough. So had to add this 4x4, cut it down to the exact width I needed it, and also extended it out, and then used this as a nailer to nail into the stud. So it's nailed in the stud this way, but also through here. And then this is connected to this, these two are connected. So a little bit of a hokey workaround, but once it's painted and moderately trimmed out, it'll look all right. And then I also had to extend this out to match my new extended outdoor. But pretty stoked about the cabinetry and stuff. I think everything kind of came out really nice. I still have to do staining on all of it. I had to do a poly urethane type of spread all over the countertops to make it so that way they don't collect grease and such like this one is, because I was installing the sink. I also had to do something a little bit weird around the sink over here. You know, I was trying to connect this this little mini wall partition thing here, and in doing so, I needed to kind of frame out this sink to attach to it. So the sink is kind of in place now because it's connected to this wall, which is connected to this up here. And then I also have the nailer plate in the back of this hammered into the wall. So yeah, that's all the stuff I did this weekend. So it's a pretty cool weekend. My wife and I decided that we are not going to do cabinets up here above the kitchen, and the reason is because of weight. We want to keep the weight down, and we think that this on this, and plus we also want to make an even weight distribution. We have this, the bathroom, all that stuff. On this side is going to be a fridge, the stairs. So we want to keep the amount of cabinetry type work fairly even on each side. So what we're going to do instead of cabinets up here, we're going to do wire shelving, the type of that you would have in like a closet. It'll also make it feel a little bit more open. The downside is it also could make it look more cluttered if we have stuff just kind of thrown up there. My wife is a pretty big guru in the kitchen, so I doubt that'll be a major problem. So yeah, so that's everything we have. Hopefully the next update next weekend, I'll have cabinets stained and fiberglass in the tub. And then we'll also have the roof painted, the door painted. We're getting the front door painted red. And then we're also going to have, hopefully the plumbing will be done as well. So that way I can start connecting everything up internally. Thanks.